Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Z. My name is Zamel Solanki, and it's an absolute pleasure to be joining each and every one of you again on another episode. And like always, grab your drink, whatever that might be, your tea, your coffee, your cuppa, uh, even your piece of toast, whatever you might be having right now. Might even be a bowl of pasta, depending on the side of the world that you're watching this from, or if you are watching a replay as well. And you know the deal, likes, hearts. Let's get some energy pumping this morning. Come on now, likes, hearts. Get this energy pumping. Even if you are watching a replay, drop some emoticons, whatever it might be, in the comment section below as well. Now, if you are watching this on YouTube as well, because I know a few of you do actually watch this on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. That way, each and every morning, you'll get notified as to when I'm jumping on these T with Z episodes. So let's jump into, speaking of jumping into stuff, if you haven't jumped into the Limitless Network yet, go and check that out. The Limitless Network is a group of like-minded people who value health in any way, shape, or form. Be sure to head on there and check that out as well. Yeah, it's an amazing community from people all over the world. And tomorrow we host an exclusive episode. So tomorrow, being Fridays, every Friday morning, we host an exclusive episode in the Limitless Network. So details are in the description box below. Go and check that out. But if you're watching as well, come and say hello. We want to definitely hear from you, even if it's good morning, good evening, whatever it might be. Jump on and say hi. Today's episode, it's all about sharing the win. Um, as you know, this week we've been speaking a lot about celebrating wins and celebrating milestones within an organization. And we tend to do that really well in our personal lives. We tend to do that really well with our family and our friends. But for some reason, we don't tend to share or embrace others' successes within our businesses, within our workplaces. Sometimes successes are seen as threats or as missed opportunities or as essentially people climbing ranks, and we start feeling threatened. We start feeling jealousy. We start, I guess, feeling even levels of anxiety, knowing that other people might be succeeding where we're not. And you look at a typical organizational hierarchy, and the most common phrase is, why did they get promoted over me? Or why did they get to do that and I didn't? Why did they get that opportunity and I didn't get that opportunity? And we see success and the judgment of success in our professional life manifest into this sense of a fear of being judged, a fear of then when I'm actually am getting promoted, a fear of failure, a fear of doing something wrong. And as a result of that, a fear of alienation. Now, we are typically herd creatures. Now, when we want to start doing things that are maybe against the herd or outside the herd or pushing the boundaries of the herd, or maybe not culturally appropriate within the herd, and that culture might be really good. So we might be doing something culturally destructive, or that culture within the herd might actually not be good. And we're trying to lift the culture. And as a result of that, we're now seen as an outlier within that herd. And the same is seen with success. And unfortunately, within our corporate world, is that when we start to do things to become innovative, to do things differently, to push the boundaries, to give feedback and constructive feedback to help the company and our healthpreneurial journey grow, sometimes people within our culture, within the organization, try to pull us down, or they try to group other people within the herd to then judge, to place blame, to use elements of the ego to deny, to justify, whatever it might be, to then bring that person down or really limit their ability to succeed. And I'm asking, well, then why do we do that? Why do we do that within our corporate space? Whereas in a great family dynamic or a great friendship dynamic, you see this different level of support, this different level of I guess acknowledgement, this different level that allows you to kind of push the boundaries, even though that there might be these other fears, these fears of rejection, fears of failure, fears of judgment, whatever it might be. But within a personal life, those fears can be kind of abated a lot more easily than in our workplace. And given that our workplace is where most of us spend the majority of time, so if you're working full time and then still commuting to and from work, you'll find that, out of your 16-hour week day, at least half to 2/3 of your weekday is focused within work. So if we're now in an environment that doesn't support the successes or support the ability to win, then what does that do for our own sense of being, our own sense of fulfillment, our own sense, I guess, or need to pursue mastery? Because if we're on the road to pursuing mastery and we know that this is one of the essential human needs, the pursuit of mastery then requires us to win. It requires us to succeed. Because if I master something, I'm achieving goals. So my question to you today is, within your workplace or along your own health entrepreneurial journey, how are you as a leader supporting a culture around success? How are you as a leader within your organization supporting and acknowledging the wins and the achievements throughout your team and your organization? Are you creating an environment that feels safe and welcoming to acknowledge wins, to allow people to showcase their successes and not feel like they're being judged or feel like they're being arrogant or feel like that that essentially they're being alienated from the herd? How are you creating a culture that thrives on seeing others succeed? And as a result of that, uses that as the fuel and motivation to help lift themselves up, to help motivate them to succeed as well. So that's my question for you today. Within your world, within your health entrepreneurial journey, and even entrepreneurial journey, whatever it might be, how are you embracing wins? How are you embracing the culture of winning and sharing those successes, acknowledging those successes, and also encouraging those that might not be succeeding to help them elevate, to bring them up, rather than that group of people trying to pull those people back down in fear of, I guess, whatever their ego might be playing out to be. So that's my question for you today. How do you do that? Now, in tomorrow's episode, we're going to give some practical examples and tips as to how we can foster this, how we can actually extract these wins out, recognize it, and recognize it in a meaningful way. So definitely jump onto tomorrow's episode and we'll be covering that. But for today, I just want you to, even throughout today, if somebody says something that they achieved or something that they did well, are you even acknowledging it? Or are you just ignoring it? And even if they're not saying it, but it's something that you've noticed or haven't even noticed in the past, and are you now taking the time to stand back and go, you know what, rather than being so critical of my team's performance today, what are the good things that they're doing and how can I acknowledge it? And then notice the difference. Debrief on the difference that's had on them. What impact has that had on them? By noticing those good things, acknowledging their little wins, even if it's the smallest win. Hey, you did an amazing consultation with Mrs. Smith today. Well done. Just something as simple as that. How would that make that person feel? How does that make you feel? And notice the impacts of that, just that little interaction as well. What's their demeanor, their mood like for the rest of the day? So that's it from me today. Food for thought, like always. How can you share the win? How can you encourage a culture around sharing wins and embracing them as well? So that's it from me today. I look forward. Drop your comments and your feedback in the comment section below. But other than that, have an incredible day. And I look forward to catching up with you exclusively on another episode of Tea with Z tomorrow. Bye for now.